There is no doubt that A24's 2024 new film, I Saw the TV Glow, is not a film that can make everyone love with, but it has become one of my favorite movies last year. Even if disregard the queer elements it focuses on depicting, the plot of the film, such as the loss of traditional media and the confusion of the adolescent characters, is also capable of evoking empathy. I think this is related to the narrative atmosphere created by the various color light sources in the film. What we see with our eyes is not just the actors and the scenes, the lighting is also subtly guiding our feelings and understanding unconsciously. Therefore, after repeatedly observing the various fascinating lighting and color effects in the film, I decided to explore the lighting and color settings, as well as the resulting effects in this video thesis. What I Saw the TV Glow constantly creates is a kind of ambiguous and hazy atmosphere. The film merely tells the story of Owen, who is in his middle age, looking back on the time when he and his childhood friend Maddie watched the TV program The Pink Opaque together. This narrative system that interweaves memories, reality, and TV programs requires a common logic to link them together, and the different colors of lights create precisely this connection. The cinematographer of this film, Eric Yue, intended to express the heightened expression of color through lighting. Therefore, in the scenes depicting Owen's adulthood, Yue used real-life light sources, such as fluorescent bulbs, to create the gradually dimmed life of Owen after reaching adulthood. No filters were employed. As Owen grew older, his visual world became colder. This lighting color setting was partially inspired by Kieślowski's Blue. One of the most visually impactful scenes in this film occurs when Owen is watching The Pink Opaque at Maddie's house. The entire basement is illuminated by a green fish tank. This setting of real-world light sources enhances the authenticity of the scene, allowing the audience to believe that the light actually originates from the environment of the story itself, rather than being deliberately arranged by the lighting team behind the scenes. At the same time, the diffuse reflection of the fish tank light and the water ripple effects create complex light and shadow layers on the characters and the environment. This impurity effect is difficult to replicate with a single specialized lamp. Apart from the overall tone, the selection of various special main colors in this film is also very meticulous. In the scene of the fish tank mentioned earlier, Yue originally intended to choose a single blue-toned lamp, but it seemed artificial and not romantic enough in this scene. Clearly, the green color of the final version gave this scene a unique sense of emptiness. Similarly, a green color appears and is matched with neon pink. This is another scene. A smoke shrouds an ice cream cart. The overhead lights set up in the distance give this scene, which showcases bold visual colors, a surreal and surrealistic feeling. And the psychedelic diffusion effect of the smoke is also inseparable from the setting of two different colored lights. One ingenious idea about the color of lights is that pink and blue are extensively used in the film. Pink is a warm color, while blue is a cool one. The two different colors of lights form a visual contrast and conflict in the background. However, when we return to the color wheel, we will find that pink and blue actually have a neighboring color relationship. This means that they will blend and transition into each other in the background. While contrasting, there is also a hint of ambiguity. This layer of ambiguity serves the narrative. Owen's cross-identity as a queer and a mixed-race individual allows him to be somewhat distant and close in various mainstream contexts and circles. Yue generally described his lighting method in this film as when you consume too much sugar and get a stomachache. This was more vividly demonstrated in the big inflatable planetarium scene in the latter part of the film. The main light source of this scene was a projected constellation map, and then, through the gradual sliding of constellation maps across the contours of people's faces, this dynamic lighting effect was achieved, which created this ethereal quality. The lighting did not drive any substantive plot development. It merely combined visual elements, such as characters and backgrounds, to form an overwhelming effect, used to deepen the sense of depression of the scene. Such visual combinations have rarely appeared in any previous films. Whether it is the fish tank or the projection, the lighting setup characteristics they represent for this film are different colors and real-world light sources. While achieving the atmosphere through color rendering, it is largely because most scenes are at night that real-world light sources follow the inverse square law of light attenuation. which can more naturally create depth and layering between characters and scenes, and make the three-dimensionality of objects and space stronger. This is also captured in its hazy, haunted liminality by cinematographer Eric Yue. Hard or soft light deliberately placed is difficult to achieve such an effect. These color-driven lighting choices elevate light beyond mere illumination to become the story's silent protagonist. So when you watch a movie next time, ask yourself, what are you really seeing when you look at the light?